All right, good Shabbos, everyone. Everywhere I go, it seems a lot of people have watched the second season of Nobody Wants This. And like it was for the first season, everyone who has seen it has a strong opinion about it. I've heard it all, the praise and the criticism. Now, if you haven't seen it, the show is basically about a woman named Joanne, a single, non-Jewish podcast host in her mid-30s living in Los Angeles. She's in a serious relationship with a guy named Noah, a charming, very good-looking LA guy who happens to be a rabbi. It's a light, fun Netflix romance comedy, and the second season came out just over a month ago. It's been, for many weeks, the most popular show on Netflix. So popular, they've already renewed it for a third season. Now, many viewers say they've enjoyed seeing actor Adam Brody portrayed as a hot rabbi. It's not often we rabbis get called hot. We get called plenty of other things. But since its release, the show has generated a wide range of opinions and reactions in the greater Jewish community. Yes, we Jews get the most popular show on Netflix, and of course, we have some complaints. Last year, I shared my views of the first season. Tonight, what do I think about season number 2? A 2020 Pew Research Center study discovered that among currently married U.S. Jews, 42% have a non-Jewish spouse. And among Jews who've been married since 2010, the intermarriage rate is 61%. Now, for many years, I've had parents call me because their child has come home to tell them that they're seriously dating a non-Jew. And they're conflicted. Rabbi, what should I do? Now, besides being a very funny and engaging show, and I liked season number 2, I think one of the reasons why Nobody Wants This is so popular is that so many of us can relate. We all seem to have somebody in our family who is either married or dating someone who isn't Jewish. Now in the show, it's a rabbi. And in season 2, I believe the show provides for all of us a productive answer on how we can respond if our children come home with a non-Jew. But it takes a while for the show to get there. In fact, in the show, the great Tova Feldshuh plays the rabbi's mother, Bina. And she is the definition of a stereotypical, condescending, potential Jewish mother-in-law. Thank God I love my mother-in-law. It's not her. It's not Bina. It's actually funny to see what Bina does to scare away the non-Jewish girlfriend, Joanne. You may remember, or for those of you who haven't seen it, when meeting her for the first time, she lists every terrible thing about dating or potentially marrying a rabbi. She tells Joanne he'll never be home on Shabbat, he'll never make good money, and the community is basically your mother-in-law. But in season 2, she starts to come around just a little bit, even welcoming her to the weekly Shabbat dinner. Actress Jackie Tone plays the rabbi's sister-in-law, Esther. In season 1, she's cranky, perpetually irritated with Joanne, the non-Jewish girlfriend. And it's also funny in season 1 to see what she does to scare her away. At Joanne's very first Shabbat dinner ever, Esther watches Joanne take a piece of challah like she's administering an entrance exam. Does she tear it? Does she cut it? Does she take too small of a piece? Too big a piece? Joanne doesn't know there are rules on how to eat challah. I didn't know there were rules either. But Esther is there to judge every move. But it changes in season 2. And now a spoiler alert for those who have not finished the second season. A moment to cover your ears if you need to. In season 2, it's Esther, the sister-in-law, who starts to welcome Joanne. She stops judging and instead invites conversation about Judaism. She becomes more warm and approachable. And that makes all the difference. At the very end of season 2, in the last episode, I think the most important scene of all happens. She tells Joanne, quote, "I feel like you have this idea of being Jewish that's so much more complicated than it actually is." And I love what she says here. She says, "I mean, you feel Jewish to me. You're warm, you're cozy, you always want to chat about everything. Your tendency to overshare, being into everyone's business, and even eating challah early are all Jewish traits." And I love when she concludes, "Joanne, you'd actually be a pretty good get for us, with or without Noah." And it's after this scene, Joanne finally begins to realize, maybe I can be part of the Jewish people. Perhaps I really could convert. And so I believe it's Esther who reminds all of us the most important lesson of all. Welcoming potential converts doesn't begin with theology. It begins with warmth. It begins with acceptance. The sister-in-law Esther's openness becomes a spiritual doorway to Judaism. And this is what I tell concerned parents when I get those phone calls or have those meetings in my office. When the non-Jewish boyfriend or girlfriend comes home, welcome them to your families, welcome them to the community with open arms. Because if we are cold or dismissive, if we are unwelcoming, why would they ever want to join our community? Rejection gets us nowhere. But I have seen it many times. If we're open, inviting, and embracing, we only increase the chances that they would want to become part of the Jewish people. And thank God that happens so many times. I've seen it again and again, as you have here at Beth Yeshurun. Often, the non-Jewish spouse who converts and becomes Jewish becomes more religious than the people born Jewish. The other night, Lisa and I were out with a couple. The mom, the wife, had converted many years ago. We were ordering something to eat. The guy that grew up Jewish ordered shrimp. She hit him on the shoulder and said, "No shrimp." She was the one who converted. And we've seen it again and again. And again, the show demonstrates the more welcoming we are, the more likely it is that Jewish homes and Jewish children will follow. That's what we pray for. That's what we hope for. And this has been the practice of our conservative movement for a long time. We should have the non-Jewish boyfriend or girlfriend over for Shabbat dinner. Encourage them to join us at synagogue services and programs. Invite them to join us at our homes for Passover Seders and Hanukkah candles. Hold off on Yom Kippur. Yes, my friends, in our day and age, more and more of our children will come home with wonderful non-Jewish girlfriends and boyfriends. And many of them have no spiritual practice of their own. Open to something beautiful and meaningful like our Jewish faith. And I believe it's up to every single one of us to show them just how incredible Judaism is. Let's be the reason someone wants to be Jewish, not the reason they would walk away. Because Judaism grows not through guilt or through gatekeeping, but our tradition, our people grow through warmth, joy, and invitation. And yes, season 2 of Nobody Wants This delivers something profoundly important, a lesson about judgment and the transformative power of being a welcoming family, a welcoming community. So if you haven't, go watch season 2. You'll enjoy it. And be prepared, because next year I'll give you another sermon about season 3. Shabbat shalom, everyone.